struggling to understand the direction that the Seattle Seahawks are going moving forward past the 2022-2023 NFL season. I like a lot of the young pieces that they have brought in through this past offseason. Obviously, it's been a painful one with us getting rid of Russell Wilson. And that trade package I'm still feeling a little indifferent about just because the history of their draft selections have not been the most promising. As much as I love this past draft, I still wonder, there's still these same habits that this same regime has made over the past couple of years. And when you look at their longevity or like their past 10 years of what they have done draft-wise, you look at the 2013, I believe, is when the Legion of Boom came in. That's when everything had changed. Or it could be the 2011, I believe it could be before 2012 was the construction of the Legion of Boom, and that's when I had fell in love with football. I have family that are from Seattle, so that's when I became a Seattle Seahawks fan. And I understand this video is going to be relatively short just because it's me asking a lot of questions and trying to think out loud in a one-take video, so it's going to be all over the place. But when we talk about the Seattle Seahawks, I think that, yes, Drew Lock is not going to be the future of this team. I don't think Geno Smith is either. But I think that there's so many good pieces on this team that a guy that I don't tend to agree with most of the time just because his analogies are so out of this world and not necessary, and the narratives that he tries to push aren't fantastic. But I have so much respect for how much work he has put into this industry. It's Colin Cowherd. He had made this comment about the Seattle Seahawks. He's from the Pacific Northwest. He had said that, is Seattle trying to prepare themselves to be in the position to be a quarterback away from a Super Bowl run? And from that trend that has been going on in the NFL, as we talk about the Buccaneers or the Broncos, those two teams have brought in Tom Brady and Russell Wilson to potentially push themselves into a Super Bowl contention. As one of them did win a Super Bowl, and the Stafford Rams situation did the exact same thing, where they are a quarterback away and hoping to try to make a move to get a guy that is proven, a guy that is just in a bad situation but has proven that he can elevate the talent around him. Can he come in and win a Super Bowl? And when you look at the construction of what the Seattle Seahawks have done, it looks like a team that defensively has a lot of reconstruction, and that's what I think that's going to make this team really bad, is because they have so much talent on the offensive side of the ball with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. I wonder, is this team really trying to tank, as there's been rumors and like confirmed rumors that they wanted to make a move for Jimmy G, and it almost reinforces this belief that they are going to try to make a guy that is proven, or I think talent is being misutilized and can come in and try to make one last push. Because when you look at the age of Pete Carroll, not saying he is looking to retire anytime soon. I don't think he's made any comments from what I've read in the articles and the many interviews that he has done over this offseason, as he has probably been in the most spotlight that he's been in a long time, especially when you move off a quarterback that is the best in franchise history. You're going to get asked a lot of questions about the future and what are the expectations. And as much as I think that the Seahawks could be tanking to try to get, I don't know, CJ Stroud, Tyler Van Dyke, or even Bryce Young, even though he is at a smaller frame for the NFL level, there's a lingering question is, why is Pete Carroll still here? Because if you're going to go for a rebuild, don't you want to be able to build a dynamic with a head coach and a quarterback that isn't clashing with, I would say, views or perspectives? As we all know, Pete Carroll is a defensive-minded head coach. Is as forward-thinking as he has been in his career for many years, he has almost felt outdated in the sense of what this offense and the identity of the Seattle Seahawks moving forward. For many years, it had been going back and forth with Russell Wilson, whether or not this team was going to be a run-heavy team or not, and I think that they're going all in with Rashad Penny and Kenneth Walker to be a run-heavy team, with the diluted quarterback room not having as much talent as it has over the past couple years. But when we look forward past this season, what is Pete Carroll's place in this rebuild? Is he really going to stay 4 years to develop a quarterback and hopefully potentially make a run for their Super Bowl? Or is he really going to be done in 2 years and we're going to have to swap head coaches for a young quarterback, which is something that I really don't want to happen if we go and get a younger guy, just because a head coaching change can really change everything for the quarterback, and it's a risk. And you're trying to minimize as much risk when you're trying to make this rebuild. I think the Charles Cross pick is a good step in the direction of what the Seahawks need, which has always been pass protection. I think that making a move for a first-round left tackle was so critical, because I had no faith that they were actually going to end up doing it, as over the past couple of years with later first-round picks, they've either traded into the second round and made a move for a linebacker or a position of not huge need. As much as I like Jordan Brooks, I was imploring them to draft a lineman. I don't care if it's a reach. I would rather take a risk on a physical freak at the lineman position versus what they got in Jordan Brooks, which is a position of not need at the time. Obviously now with Bobby Wagner off the roster, it's now a bigger need, of course, but the whole regime is done. Like, this is not the 2013 Seahawks. We're almost a decade past their Super Bowl run. And their last Super Bowl run in general is about to be in about 2 years, where it's been a decade, and I think the culture needs a change. I'm not calling for Pete Carroll to retire. I'm not calling for him to be fired. He has so much respect, and I think that he is going to be in that ring of honor. And I've made a video like this, but I think I have a better clarification and realization of what I think of Pete Carroll. I think he has also had some really tough situations, and of course, some draft picks just don't work out. Maybe that's just bad luck. With what Seattle has moving into the future, I think a look for a new head coach. Now, maybe they want to find a certain guy. Maybe they wanted to be patient into the next year. Maybe an offensive guru will become available, or maybe a new up-and-coming head coach. I want this team to go offensive. I think that that's the best direction moving forward. I think if they do get a young quarterback, but that lingering plan in my head is that they're going to try to make a move for a proven guy and make one last Super Bowl run, try to fix the defense as fast as possible and be ready to go, because DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett's getting much older. He is hitting 30 this year, which is crazy to think about because I've been watching him his entire career. So let me know, what do you think the Seahawks plan moving past this season? Obviously, this season's not going to be good. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. But looking past this, would you go all in for a rebuild, bring in a new regime, a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator to really develop and build a bond and hopefully potentially make a long-lasting partnership that could proceed to multiple Super Bowl wins? Or do you go all in one last time, one last try, bring in a new proven quarterback next year, and let these guys be a bridge such as Geno or Drew Lock and make one last Super Bowl run and risk it all and potentially even prolong a longer rebuild for the Seattle Seahawks? If you were in the general manager's position, what would you do? And let me know down in the comments. If you're at this point of the video, thank you so much for watching. I know this video didn't have a lot of analyzation of what is expected of the Seahawks this year. I wanted to look past that and see what their future is. So thank you so much for watching. If you're at this point in the video, please leave a sub, leave a like, leave a comment. I get these notifications on my phone. It's my favorite part of the day. And thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.